Welcome in this video to continue explaining Hebrews chapter 2, and we read from verse 13. And again I will put my trust in him, and again here am I and the children whom God has given me. Because the people who are saved through Jesus' work on the cross, they were chosen by God. They were elected before the establishment of the world. In verse 14, inasmuch then as the children have partaken of flesh and blood, he himself likewise shared in the same. So here, Jesus appeared or manifested in a body like a human body. But we know we have flesh and blood. But Jesus had this similar image, but his flesh and blood are completely different. He did not carry the human DNA, the sin. His blood, Peter said, was the pure blood known before the establishment of the world. He didn't do sin, he didn't have sin or iniquity in him. But he became like us so he can make sacrifice for us. He himself likewise shared in the same, that through death he might destroy him who had the power of death, that is the devil. Because to become a sacrifice for the human being, to carry their sins, he needs to be like them, as an image, not in essence. And on the cross, he destroyed the principalities of Satan. And he was the only one whom to be qualified as a sacrifice to reconcile man to God, because he fulfilled the law which the human being failed, and law brought death, because by one sin the human being considered criminal in the whole law. In verse 15, and release those who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. Under the law there was bondage. People were scared of death, because one sin, the chief priest, when he goes into the Holy of the Holy to sacrifice for himself and for the people, if there is one little sin in him, he would die in the Holy of the Holy. That is the law. In verse 16, for indeed he does not give aid to angels. God did not make a plan to save angels. When angels sin, they have to go to the punishing place straight away. There is no redemption for them. But he does not give aid, but he does give aid to the seed of Abraham. But here we have to be careful. Seed of Abraham, it does not mean the Jewish people or other people who came from Abraham. It means, as it says in Galatians chapter 3, it was talking that about the blessing to the children of Abraham. He didn't say all the children of Abraham in the body. He said the children of Abraham, through Jesus, through believing in Jesus, those are the children of Abraham. Therefore, in all things he had to be made like his brethren, that he might be a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to God, to make propitiation for the sins of the people. As the chief priest used to be, he used to try to be merciful and understand people's feeling and sins and circumstances, and he sacrificed for them a cow or a sheep. But here, same thing. But here, Jesus, of course, being in a similar body, he had feeling. He felt the pain. He was tempted. He was hungry. He was punished and everything. So he had the same feeling like us. And it's like he was the only person in God, because his deity was with him in the body all time, to be able to reconcile people to God. And he knew, as God, he knew that the sin came to us through Adam. So it's something we gain through Adam. That's why he made salvation for us. He's merciful God. And the last verse, 18, for in that he himself has suffered, being tempted, he is able to aid those who are tempted, because he understands us 100%. You know, we have been created by him. That's why he understood us. And he wanted to put a resolution. He put a plan from before the establishment of the world, before creation. He knew the human being will fall by Satan through Adam, the first creation from dust. And Adam, because he was from dust, he brought sin to us. But Jesus was from heaven, from God. He's God manifested in the flesh, so he brought salvation to us. So we should all rush to God. So through Jesus, we get forgiveness of sins and righteousness from him and eternal life. Cain, the son of Adam, rejected it, and God tried many ways to bring him to the right path, and Cain was stubborn and rejected this salvation by offering a sacrifice, which is a symbol of Jesus. Thank you.